Hey, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of This Never Gets Old. Today we have a very special guest. We have John Ramirez, agent extraordinaire. Welcome, John.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Johnny, we've known each other a very long time,
Yeah.
but I'm not really sure how you got started in this industry in Medicare sales. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this crazy business.
Well, it's a crazy story, so I'm glad that you asked. Richard, I'll tell you, back in 97 when I graduated from high school, my parents gave me a very clear, you either go to school or you go to work. I wanted to go get a job. I loved working on cars. So my first attempt at employment was a tiny little tire shop at Montgomery Ward. For those of you old enough to remember that store, went, applied, was given a direction to go into an elevator, second floor, third door on the right. Well, I must have taken the wrong direction, third door on the left. Walked into a insurance company, a telemarketing agency back in 97. Realized very quickly that I was in the wrong place, was walking my way out when the young lady said, "Hey, are you interested in applying?" Sure. Had no clue what I was applying for. Applied, was walking back out. She said, "Hey, can you interview right now?" Sure, why not? Long story short, 30 minutes later, I had a job. What the job was for, had no clue. But I was asked to return on Monday morning, which I did. And I was at this organization for about 7 years. And this was to cold call 300 plus people a day, selling everything from credit card insurance to baby insurance policies. For those old enough to remember, there were the Gerber policies, very tiny, small insurance policies for your children, grandchildren. Well, that is where my career in Medicare and life insurance, health insurance started. In 1999, got my life and health insurance license. So I've been licensed now for 27 years. I have held, I'm going to say, 10 different positions, starting in telesales back in the mid-90s to field sales, to broker, to management for a very good portion of that with many different organizations. And I will say that it all started with going through the wrong door. But that wrong door turned out to be the right door. I still have my mom and dad, still see them almost every weekend. And any and every restaurant that we go to, there'll be a mechanic shop next to it or whatnot. And my dad pulls me over and says, "Mijo, that could have been you. You know, oil head to toe, working weekends, long hours. Definitely not doing what I'm doing today." So blessed, and everything happens for a reason.
Great. Yeah, I want to get back. I want to get back to that in a second. But can you frame for our audience maybe the difference between Medicare, briefly, Medicare and a Medicare Advantage plan, which is basically what we sell, correct?
Absolutely. So average person turns 65, goes on to Medicare. They get a red, white, and blue card in the mail 3 months before turning 65. This is your average senior experience. No one stays on Medicare, at least not on purpose, by itself. If you stay on straight Medicare, you're leaving yourself open to a lot of potential risk, financial risk. Just generally speaking, Medicare does not cover the entire bill, hospital bills, whatnot. They cover nothing for medications. So no one wants to go to the hospital and potentially end up with that financial risk. Nobody wants to go to the pharmacy and have no insurance. So again, this is why nobody, at least not on purpose, stays on straight Medicare A and B. When they get that red, white, and blue card, that is when they start reaching out to agents, right? They look to us for some guidance of where do I start? I will tell you, Richard, I've been in the industry now for well over 2 decades, and it is still a very confusing, ever so changing industry. Every year there's changes to Medicare, there's new requirements, there's new penalties that unless you've been doing it for a long time, it's very hard to understand. So that's when they reach out to us, and we try our best to direct them into a decision, to be well informed, to make this decision to go and enroll into a Medicare Advantage plan that basically picks up where Medicare leaves off.
I love that perspective. I love that you've been in the industry for many, many years because, number one, you can inform your potential clients and your clients of the changes, and you know what those changes mean, and because you have some perspective as far as knowing how the industry has changed throughout the years. I think that's big. The other thing is that you can also mentor. You know how to, the ins and outs of the business. You know what you need to do, what you need to know, and that I think that's crucial in mentoring new agents who may want to get into the business. I think it's really important that you have that perspective, you have that history, and you know the changes that have occurred in the Medicare field throughout the many years that you've been selling. So congratulations for that. But maybe you can talk a little bit more from a member's perspective. What are they? Maybe some of them have been on Medicare for years, right? You start at 65, basically start at 65, unless you're on a special plan, right? You turn 65, you get on Medicare, you get on a Medicare Advantage plan, but you still have 20, 30 years of opportunity to switch plans. What have you seen as there are some of the differences in what a member should look out for?
So providing an education of updates, changes, rules, again, penalties that are forever changing. This is where an agent that's got the experience not only has the experience that they can share, but they love sharing this experience with their member. I always say that the relationship doesn't end when you enroll somebody. That's when it starts. 65-year-olds, perfect example. You may spend an hour on the phone or in person with them explaining an hour's worth of just Medicare and how Medicare works. You haven't even talked about a potential Medicare plan yet. You have to invest this time. But that relationship starts there. Even after enrollment, there are still so many things that can happen. They now have a chronic condition. Well, now we need to start talking about special needs plans. They now have Medi-Cal or low income subsidy of some sort. Now you need to start talking about those type of plans. AEP rolls around. Changes for the next year. That's another conversation. And you know what? A good agent loves doing this update because any opportunity that you can get to get in front of your member is an opportunity for a referral. Family, friends, neighbors. I've been doing this for obviously a long time, and I never miss an opportunity to say, Mrs. Smith, keep my phone number. Here's a business card. Here's a birthday card as a reminder that, yeah, that 55-year-old neighbor that's nowhere near Medicare age yet, I'm still going to ask for the referral because 10 years flies by, and now you've been in the industry for 26 years, 27 years, and now they're calling you about that neighbor, right? So I love the opportunity to go over the changes, again, to continue that relationship, build that relationship, and ask for a referral.
I think you're fortunate and in the biz that you get a lot of your business over the phone, right? Your phone sales. For the majority of agents out there, they're more face-to-face type of sales. Can you maybe go through what the differences are and maybe go through the challenges of each?
Yeah, of course. So I'll go back to late 90s. Late 90s, 90+% of your senior demographic wanted to be sold in one way and only one way. And that was face-to-face at a Marie Callender's with a cup of coffee and a muffin and a 2-hour presentation. That is the way that your demographic wanted to be sold. That presentation probably turned into a lead that then meant you had to go now drive to their home and spend another 2 hours inside the home doing another presentation. That is the way seniors want it to be sold. Well, fast forward, you have COVID, you have the internet, you have email. All of these things flip that script completely backwards. Now you have a huge part of our senior demographic that doesn't even speak to an agent. Will many times just go straight to the internet, apply online, done. Many want to pick up the phone and call. Some want to email. Point to the story is that seniors are now looking for their insurance needs in different ways. They don't want some random stranger sometimes coming into their home, sitting on their couch. Again, COVID, so many reasons. So you have to learn to adapt. You have to be really good on phone skills. You have to be really good with email, follow up. Gosh, guys, our word is everything. Without our word, we're nothing. If a senior expects you to follow up tomorrow at 9 a.m., that senior needs to be followed up tomorrow at 9 a.m. So again, point is, it's not always in person. There's many different angles now, many different opportunities, and got to use that technology to our advantage.
Yeah, there's. I think one of the pillars of this show is that the senior, the perception that seniors are stuck in the past. You know, they're at the forefront of technology, right? They use Facebook, they use social media. It's not so much where they're scared of like transacting over the phone or on the internet or on their computers. So so that kind of speaks back to the difference, and the changes that have occurred in the industry. It's also occurred to the members as well, right? They've adapted and people like you are successful at getting them enrolled in plans.
The way that they're consuming information nowadays, it's not just about that direct mail marketing piece. It's not just about that commercial. We remember those days very well. Now it's all about Facebook and Instagram, and I saw you on my phone and I clicked a button, right? It's just so different. I still remember the days of asking for an email, and I don't touch that computer. I don't have those email. Now, I'm going to say 75% of your seniors now have an email that they use along with social media. So, different world.
John, in just the same way that seniors have really adopted and are on the forefront of using social media for not just news and information, but also to find out more about healthcare, one of the other trends that we've noticed is healthier lifestyles, looking for more nutritional meals, maybe cooking at home a little more. One of the things we like to do here is feed our guests, but still within the framework of providing recipes and ways for seniors to eat well, eat good food, eat delicious food, and still stay on a budget. So in front of John, he's got some enchiladas that I whooped up for him last night. While John is enjoying those, we're going to check out how I made them. So we've made crispy chicken thighs in a tomato, red pepper, herb, garlic, and lemon sauce. And next, we're gonna make enchiladas. Yes, enchiladas. Check them out. So for our enchilada sauce, we're gonna take the leftover sauce that we made with the tomatoes and the red pepper and the garlic and the lemon and the herbs. And we're gonna add these dried chilies that we soaked in water, in hot water. So we're going to add that to the blender. Gonna take off the stems. You want some of the cooking liquid in there because it's going to help make the sauce. We're going to add a little bit of the cooking liquid. Then we're going to go ahead and blend that up. careful when you open it up because sometimes it expands and splashes. And simply add that to your sauce. Once you've added it to the sauce, stir it up, mix it all together. You're gonna have to add a little salt at this point just because the peppers are a bit bitter, and let that simmer down for 15-20 minutes. So while your sauce is heating up and mixing together, you're going to shred your chicken. So let's go ahead and shred this chicken. Okay, so our sauce is warmed up. We're just gonna turn that down. Beautiful sauce. We've got our shredded chicken. We've got some Mexican crumbling cheese and some cottage cheese. And these are about a dozen warmed up in the microwave corn tortillas. We're gonna put a little sauce in the bottom of our roasting pan here. We're gonna turn that off. We're gonna take our tortilla, we're gonna dip it in the sauce. Take some chicken, be generous. Roll that up. Do that again. We're gonna take a tortilla, we're gonna dip it in the sauce, both sides, put it in the pan. Add our chicken, roll that up, continue on. Okay, we've got some chicken left over. We've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 enchiladas made. We have 2 tortillas left over. We'll make tacos out of that. We're gonna wash our hands really quick, come back, pour the sauce on top of that. You're gonna take whatever sauce you have left over, generously pour it over the top of your tortillas and enchiladas. You're gonna take some cottage cheese, put little mounds on top. And then add a little bit of that Mexican crumbled cheese that we talked about. And you're set. That's beautiful. And let's put that in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes. And we should have something that's beautiful. I served it with micro cilantro, which was phenomenal, but they didn't have any more micro cilantro.
What's micro cilantro?
It's like, that's micro arugula.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like baby arugula. It's baby arugula, baby cilantro. They didn't have any at the market, so I got this instead. But yeah, I like those little foo-foo-ness.
Take another bite.
Take another bite.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it looks amazing. It smells amazing. So thank you, Richard, for doing this. That sauce is amazing. And what kind of cheese is that?
That is cottage cheese and a little bit of a Mexican crumbled cheese.
I gotta tell you, that tastes amazing. Thank you so much for putting it together for me, Richard.
I'm glad you love it. Well, you continue to enjoy that. Let's get back into this. So I think for all businesses, especially what we do, especially healthcare, relationships, trust, follow through, as you mentioned, are super important. For someone new, for a new agent, or someone looking to get into this business, what are those steps to start building relationships that are going to help you as you continue to grow in this industry?
Yeah, I agree. That's such a crucial part to being successful. I don't care if it's someone that you just met yesterday or that you've had a 10 plus year long relationship with, helping this individual in making those crucial decisions, right? You need to show them all an equal level of assistance. What do I mean by that? You get someone that's brand new to Medicare, you're going to need to invest some time before you even think about putting pen to paper. That's the time that you're going to need to invest with every one of your prospects to give them that base. Don't assume that your prospect knows the ins and outs of Medicare. They don't. They don't have that. I don't care how much they've read online, how much they read of that 300-page Medicare and You book. I'm sorry. They're going to have questions, and they're going to look to you. So this is where that investment of time comes in. Talking to your prospect, giving them the base of what Medicare is, what it does cover, what it doesn't cover, right? This is where you now come in to provide that assistance, that suggestion of what you may feel is going to be a good fit for them, right? Giving them as much detail as possible without doing what I've always called a data dump. Don't sit there and just data dump on your prospect. You need to be able to get that conversation specific to their situation, to their financial situation, to their health situation, to, is this a husband and wife that we're talking about? You need to get to know your member before they're a member. So that time investment is crucial.
Yeah, I love that phrase that you used earlier. That's just the start of the relationship when you make that sale, and keeping it personal and being involved in their lives. It takes time, it takes work, but that's how you build a successful career in this business. What advice? I mean, other than what you just said, which was great, any other advice that you would like to give to agents looking to build strong business? You're basically an entrepreneur. How do you say that word? Entrepreneur, right? So you work in this business. You're either what they call a captive agent, where you work for a health plan, or you're an independent agent, a broker like yourself. A broker life is the life of an entrepreneur, right? You're building your own business. You're running your own business. So what advice would you give someone starting out in looking to make a career of this?
Yeah, and I think you bring up a good point, Richard, that when you're an agent, when you're a broker, you may not have, a supervisor, manager, a schedule per se that you have to stick to, right? I was blessed to have started my career in corporate America, to where I was ingrained those work ethic, right, responsibilities. I don't care if it's Monday, Sunday, Wednesday, I'm up at the same time. I go to sleep at the same time, 7 days a week. I have a work ethic that I don't require someone telling me what to do, except for my wife. She still does that, and I'm okay with it. 25 years of marriage, and it's fantastic. But I will say that staying organized in this industry is crucial. Whether you have a book of business of 5 or 5,000, the industry, this work requires you to be organized. And, a drawer full of lead cards is not going to work. A book with a little calendar on it, it's not going to work. Again, if our members are taking in information now through different methods, right? Social media, technology. Agents need to do the same. We need to get with the times, whether that's a Salesforce or some sort of a lead management tool of some sort. Invest into that, guys. That's probably one of the biggest recommendations that I can give a new agent is don't try to do this on your own. Look to technology. It's your friend. It will keep you organized because, again, I'll go back to the same thing. Our word is everything as agents. If I say I'm going to call you at a certain time on a certain day, I'm going to keep to that word. as an agent on the phones, I don't have the luxury of pulling up in a nice car or, in a nice suit with my hair nice and done. I don't have that luxury. If I'm on the phones, my voice is everything. Whether I'm speaking to someone in South Orange County or in Texas or New York, I need to accommodate, and I need to be there, awake, informed, and helpful. Again, it's what can I do for them, right? Not the sale. I need to build that relationship first, and using technology to our advantage is crucial.
Yeah, so I can imagine that with that kind of dedication to the craft, that you spend a lot of time in a chair in front of your computer or on the phone, correct?
I do.
So what do you do for exercise?
That's a great question. So I've got my own little home gym that I try to invest time into because you're right, Richard. This does require 8+ hours, 5+ days a week of sitting. Standing desks are crucial. Getting off of that seat 2-3 hours a day. My doctor reminds me of it every time I see him. You got to stay active and keeping the body in motion. I've been blessed to have known many doctors over my career, and they tell me, John, obviously eating healthy and staying active and all of that's important, but keeping that core, keeping those legs strong, that back strong, is what's going to keep you moving into your 70s and 80s. You might not be running triathlons, but you're going to stay active. And as long as you stay active, you'll live a long, long life.
It's great advice, John. On the show, we like to feature a exercise tip of the week for our seniors. So let's look at that really quick.
Anytime we're working on our upper body, we want to make sure that we get our shoulders nice and warmed up. We're circling our shoulders 5 in each direction. We're going to do some shoulder shrugs. And then find a wall. You're going to be against the wall, not leaning on the wall, a little bit off. Feet pointed straight ahead, arms pointed straight ahead. You're going to take this arm up, turn it around, and twist your body so your chest and your face are to the wall. Back up and around. You're going to do that 5 times on each arm, and then you're going to open out. Chest and face pointed straight out.
We've talked about starting a business, being in business, maintaining a business, but at the end of the day, we are selling a product, correct? In essence, we're salespeople, and salespeople get a bad rap and they have a bad image. Okay, how do you break that stereotype? What do you do to break the stereotype of the pushy salesperson?
Great question. I touched on it a couple of times, but let me give you more detail. So whether you're in person, you're on the phone, whatever, don't go straight for the sale, guys. It's a lose-lose. Best case scenario, your prospect's ready to go. You went for the sale in the first minute of your conversation. Best case scenario, that person's going to enroll. But guess what? They're probably going to disenroll within that first 12 months. And we all know as agents, guys, that the goal is to keep your member on whatever you put them on for a minimum of 1 year. If they didn't stay on for 1 year, we can blame the health plan. We can blame the doctors. We can blame transportation for not showing up on time. But the onus is on you. You didn't do something right if that person didn't stay on for a minimum of 1 year, preferably many more than that. So guys, going straight for the sale, it's never going to work. So what are you going to do? You're going to build that relationship. Walk into their building and their room, and if you see flowers everywhere, pick up a conversation about their passion for flowers. If you see that little dog Fifi running around, hey, what's your dog's name? Fifi. Let little Mrs. Smith talk about her dog Fifi for 5, 10, 30 minutes. It's going to happen, guys. But guess what? The second that you've invested that time into their dog Fifi, the golden gates of you being a salesperson and all he wants is my business and to enroll me in commissions, that gate starts to come down, right? And now it's Richard Blanco coming into my living room, really wanting to get to know me and what's important to me. Invest that time, guys. That's my advice. Don't go straight to the sale. Invest that time.
That trust is crucial, not only in keeping that relationship with that particular member, but it also opens up the doors and the gates to referrals, to family members, to friends, to neighbors, correct?
It's leaving a lasting impression, right? If all you did was pen to paper, 20 minutes out the door, that lasting impression, I hate to say it, guys, but it's going to be gone. So when that neighbor 2 weeks from now, they're out in their front yard watering their grass and the neighbor asks your member, hey, I'm turning 65 in 3 months. You know what? You may not even come up in the conversation. They might just say, oh yeah, I've got this great health plan. Why don't you call them? Google XYZ health plan. You're not even going to be a thought to your member. But if you invested that time and you really left a lasting impression, that business card that you left behind, that's going to come out and that's going to be given. And now you've got another referral. And that's so important, guys. You can't be focused on the one sale in front of you. You have to be focused on the 8 referrals that this person's going to give you, and then the 8 other people that those people are going to give you. That's what you've got to be focused on.
That's how you build a business. Yeah, right. I want to just touch upon something you mentioned earlier about staying organized, and I don't want to give the wrong impression or add an extra burden to someone who's looking at this business starting out. When we started out in the business, there was no sales force, correct? It's more how you stay organized, and maybe there's some other options you can give for maybe a new salesperson out there looking to get into it or just starting out.
Absolutely. So we've all got a cell phone in our pockets, guys. I don't know of any agent that doesn't. There are plenty of other technology options out there that don't require any financial investment, that don't require a commitment of an annual fee of some sort for some sort of a lead system. You can use something as simple as your email. Your email has a calendar attached to it. That calendar can very easily be attached to your cell phone. Put in calendar reminders. Put in events, tasks in your calendar that will remind you on your cell phone. That you can click on the phone number right from your cell phone. So you got to get creative. I understand at first it's difficult to invest and provide financial investments behind that, but utilize what you have. And if email is all you have, guys, go create a Gmail account. And that will give you a Gmail calendar that you can then put right on your cell phone and work your book of business that way.
Yeah, don't make excuses not to be successful, right? There's a way. If you want to do it, you want to work the steps, you'll get there and you can be very successful as you are. John, on your email as a signature, there is a line that I find very interesting. It is, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. What does that mean to you personally, to your family, to your business?
I will tell you, Richard, I've been blessed to have worked at many different places, many different roles. This industry can be many things. It can be cruel at times. It could be huge rewards, not just financial rewards, but the satisfaction that you get from helping a senior. But the way I was always raised is it doesn't cost you a penny to be kind, right? If I can leave even just a small lasting impression with a colleague, with a caller, with a prospect, with the daughter of a prospect, if I can leave just a little bit behind with that kindness, I will tell you that many referrals have come from the kindness. Kindness has nothing to do with our industry, has nothing to do with the Medicare and U book, has nothing to do with them turning 65. So if I can leave, I like to say, my calling card of kindness behind, I love doing that. And I will say it's been one of the keys to my success over the years is no matter how great or bad things have gotten, you got to stay kind.
John, thank you so much for all of the advice, all of the perspective, all of the the ins and outs of the business of this industry. I love that you've done it for a long time and that you still have, a caring heart. You mentioned this could be very rough. It can be a very rough business to get into, to start and be successful. But if you stick with it, the rewards are obvious, So congratulations on that. But we don't only like to focus on the serious part of the business. We like to have fun on this show. We like to have fun on This Never Gets Old. So you up for a little game of this or that?
Let's do it.
All right. So cats or dogs?
Oh, God. Okay, so I'm going to go cats only because growing up, did have a little cat, Snowy. We had a couple of Snowies, but now neither. I have a difficult time just keeping my two kids clean and tidy. I can't have a pet in the house. Can't do it.
Sing or dance?
Oh, gosh, dance. Loved dancing prior to marriage. Every other weekend, we were out dancing the night away. I know that isn't so popular so much anymore, but met a lot of amazing people, a lot of amazing times, family and friends. Love to go out dancing.
Stay up late or go to bed early?
Oh, gosh, no way. I think ever since I started this industry, it requires you to be consistent. And going to sleep at 2 a.m. is just not for me. I am up every day at 5:30 in the morning, and I am trying my darndest, if my kids allow it, to go to sleep by 10:30. So I am early bird, but I'm in bed early as well.
Here's a superhero question. Invisible or be able to fly?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to fly. There are so many places that I haven't visited yet, and I would love to be able to just, let's go. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to France. I want to go back to my rancho in Zacatecas. And doing that isn't as easy as said and done, especially with a wife and kids, and being able to just go, that would be amazing.
Good answer. Good answer. Fight a shark or fight a tiger?
I hate the ocean. It frightens the living bejesus out of me. I need to see what's in front of me, so keep me away from that shark.
Live in space or live under the sea?
No sea. I want Elon and his crazy ideas to become fruition, and I want to see space one day. I am hopeful that that's a possibility in my next 50 years of life. If they can commercialize that, I'll be on that plane.
Great, great. One last one, okay? LA or New York?
Don't know New York. Only have a couple of minimal suggestions or things that have come from New York. I'm an LA boy. Born and raised in San Gabriel, East LA, and surrounding areas. So keep me in LA.
So for a local boy, you've done very well. Congratulations again, John.
Thank you, Richard, and thank you for having me.
Everybody, that was another great episode of This Never Gets Old. Thank you for tuning into the show. We'll be back next week.